Hey, good Tuesday afternoon to you, Parkview Baptist Church. It's Mike, your pastor. And if you like sunshine, go outside. If you don't like it cold, you better stay inside. But hey, at least it is a beautiful day. It's wonderful to see blue sky and sunshine. Looking forward to springtime if you're me. I like the longer days and I like it warm, but it'll be here soon enough. Hey, today, for the next few minutes, this is going to be brief. Today is part one of two parts of an update for you this week. Part two is going to come later this week, either Thursday or Friday, one of those two. And in part two, you're going to receive a whole lot more detail from me, as well as Stephen Parker, on our return to in-person worship this coming Sunday, the 21st. That excites me. Looking forward to that with a great anticipation. But for today, for now, I just want to give you some general thoughts, as well as just maybe some encouragement about us coming back together to worship together beginning on Sunday. First of all, though, let me go backwards and just give a huge shout out and a wonderful public thanks to my man Luis Munoz for preaching once again this past Sunday. For 2 weeks now, Luis has occupied our pulpit. 2 Sundays ago, Lori and I took a Sunday off, and we were, as many of you know, at the Princess's Castle up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, enjoying our grandbaby. And then, of course, this past Sunday, I fell ill this weekend, and on a very short notice, Luis stepped up in a wonderful way and delivered a great message on Psalm 23. Again, a great thing. For him to be so well prepared and to be willing to step in so quickly. I just want our church to know how proud I am of him, how proud I am of our staff, and what they do to support all the work we do here at Parkview. So Luis, thank you very much. I believe Luis even had family in town. He sacrificed a lot, and again, on short notice, he deserves a lot of thanks. And so when you see him, you let him know how much of a blessing he is. Real quickly, just because I feel like I have to, so many of you have reached out to me over this past weekend, want to know how I am. I'm obviously fine. I'm alive. I look a little worse than I typically look a little bit. I found out my face doesn't bounce or dribble on the floor like it's supposed to, or like I hoped it might. But every now and then something hits you and it's kind of demonic and it's like a tsunami all at once, and boom, there I was. But I'm doing fine, so don't you worry about your pastor. You pray for Lori more than anyone. She's the one that has to put up with me. Anyway, our temporary closure of in-person activity and worship is about to come to an end, thankfully. This Sunday, the 21st, will be our first time back into the sanctuary together as the family of God. And it's going to be so good to see you. So many of you will be here. I know that so many of you still will not be here. But we do look forward to your ultimate return one day. But for those who are planning on and wanting to come back, this Sunday will be it. A couple things. Number one, we will not be having Sunday school yet. We'll talk more about that later, but nothing at 9 o'clock. We will only be having worship at 10:15, along with childcare for parents and adults that need to bring their children and have them in childcare, as well as children's church across the parking lot in our children's center. So anything at 10:15, being those three things, are what we're going to do. And again, you're going to hear more detail later this week about some of the protocol we're going to ask you to follow, and we're going to do in order to try to maintain some safety and good health measures. Let me kind of give you a quick sneak peek, and this is my way of kind of letting you know something and letting you know that I support what our deacons are doing, because they are working hard, diligently to keep everybody safe. As we enter and exit our church facility beginning this coming Sunday, our entrances are going to be different. And here's something for you. Are you ready for this? You may not get to sit where you normally sit. So I want to be the first one to tell you that. I wanted you to kind of go ahead and process that thought. If you like to sit in a particular pew or on a particular side, it may depend on when you get there and who has gotten there first, or how we're seating people from front to back. Again, we'll talk more detail about that later, but I do want you to know, again, that we're just going to be asking you to act out of love towards other people and doing whatever it takes with a servant heart and with a mind of humility to do what we can to be safe as we do come back this coming Sunday on the 21st. Now, let me go ahead and go back and tell you what we're going to be doing on Sunday. I mentioned to you before, I believe I did, that we're going to hit a pause button on the sermon series called The Standard, coming out of the Sermon on the Mount. And between now and Easter, we're going to go through a message series that I'm calling Famous Last Words. And these famous last words are really the 7 different sayings of Jesus while on the cross prior to him ultimately dying on that fateful day prior to our celebration of Easter. And so we're going to take these weeks and look at those 7 different sayings, famous last words as I'm calling it. And I really believe they are gifts of God to us when we examine these words once again. In fact, for this coming Sunday, here's what I would challenge you to do. I would challenge you to invite anybody that you know to either come in person, and as our sanctuary fills up, I believe it's going to fill up to capacity based on social distancing and how we will have pews marked off. Invite them to come. And some of you church members, if we have guests coming that are not members of our church, I would ask you maybe to consider giving up your seat and going across the parking lot and being in our overflow in our student area. Or if somebody you know needs an invitation to such a service that they're not ready to come out in person, invite them to join us on live stream, because here's the subject matter. The subject matter this coming Sunday is going to be on forgiveness. And it's also going to cover a lot on this word called guilt. I don't know if you've ever struggled with guilt. I have. I can look back on my life and realize that guilt, there's a very positive aspect to it, but there's also a huge negative to it when it's not handled properly. So if you know of anybody who would benefit from hearing these famous last words, as I'm calling them, those last words from Jesus where he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing. As he uttered those words from the cross, we're going to talk about forgiveness being a tremendous gift from God to us. You invite your friends, you invite your family to be a part of this, either on live stream or in person, if at all possible. Sunday is my favorite day. I love it. I cannot wait to preach on Sunday. I haven't preached now. By the time Sunday rolls around, it'll have been 3 weeks, and so who knows how long it'll be. But I am so excited to be with you again in person on Sunday the 21st. So, again, part 2 of an update is coming later this week, and it's going to have in there more detail. You've probably heard some already, but we want to remind you one last time at the end of this week about some of our protocol coming in to the church on Sunday while we're here, and even how we're going to exit. And looking forward to talking about these 7 different statements over these next several weeks between now and Easter about these gifts that Jesus gave to us from the cross while he hung there on that day so long ago to pay the penalty for our sins. I love you, church family. Thank you so much again for all your check-ins with me and checking in with Lori. And again, all is well. Can't wait to see you Sunday or at our soonest convenience for you and your family. God bless you. See you soon.